Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be discussing the complete playlist in which I will be explaining the Python programming language from beginner to advanced. So if you know, in today's market, Python is the most demanding skill set that every job organization is asking you. So learning Python is a must nowadays, and Python has a lot of capabilities because of which it is in the most demanding skill set in 2025. So without any delay, let's get started with Python. But if you have come to this particular playlist, you want to learn Python only, right? Why you want to learn Python? First is it's the most demanding skill set. Second, it has a lot of modules which help different profiles to work in their day-to-day activity easily. For example, data scientists, data engineers, and data analysts use Python day in and out. There are a lot of modules like NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, which help them in analyzing their data and actually go ahead and clean their data. Data engineers use Python in order to clean their data, manipulate the data. Data analysts uses Python in order to analyze the data. Even data scientists use it to basically go ahead and check the data, create their models, do the regression testing, and so on, right? So Python learning is a must nowadays. So if you are not aware of Python or you are new to Python, this playlist will be sufficient for you to actually start with and continue learning. It will be broken up in multiple videos so that you can pick up one video and start learning that particular concept in that video, and then practice that particular concept and then switch to the next concept. So first of all, in order to learn Python, you need to have a platform where actually you can practice the Python language. So there are multiple platforms. There are online platforms, there are IDEs that will help you in learning Python. So the first thing that you can use is first download the Python in your computer. If you have a Windows, you can download the Python, which is for Windows. If you have a Mac, you can download the Python for Mac. So let's get started how you can download the Python first. I have already created a complete playlist, complete video basically, how you can install Python and how you can install PyCharm, which is an IDE to go ahead and run the Python language. So I will pin that in the I button. In this particular video, I will give you a brief how you can do it. If you want it in depth, you can watch that particular video. I'll pin it in I button, both the videos. You can go ahead and watch it step by step. And if you are getting an error, it will help you in fixing it with the help of the video that I have shared. So let's get started. So in order to download the Python, you have to go to this python.org/downloads. And if you have a Windows, it will go ahead and say download the latest version for Windows. And if you have a Mac, it will automatically detect and it will give you this particular link. You just click on this download Python and you start downloading it for your computer and install it. And I've pinned that in the I button already. Watch that video exactly how you can install the Python. Now, if you want to use a particular IDE in which you can write your Python code, there are multiple IDEs that you can use. First is the Python that has PyCharm. So PyCharm is an editor where you can write your own code and execute your own code. So you can download it from this download button, and once it downloads, you can install it in the same manner. So this is a very good tool, which is PyCharm, which is being provided by JetBrains for data. So I will pin that in the I button as well. If you want any help in installing PyCharm, you can go ahead and watch that particular video. Now, the second IDE that we have is this, which is basically the Visual Studio Code. This is also a very famous IDE that is used in market, and some job description explicitly mention whether you know Visual Studio Code or not. And if you know, it's a plus point basically. Now, in this, if you want to download the Visual Studio Code, it gives you for Windows 10 and 11. Then it also has it for Ubuntu, Red Hat, and also for Mac. You can download as per the system that you have. And you can then install it once the download is completed. The next thing that you can use is this Jupyter notebook, in which you can go ahead and download the Jupyter, and you can start going ahead and running your Python code. There is one more platform that you can use, that is your Databricks. In this particular Databricks, you don't need to install anything. It's a web app where you can go ahead and just run your query. So for example, I have this particular account already in which I have a lot of notebooks. So let me show you. I can create one notebook here, and I can actually run any Python code here. I can create my own machine here, and I can run the code in this particular thing. So if you want to create a new resource, you can click on this create new resource and create and attach. It will take around 3-4 minutes to create the resource in which Python is already installed. So you don't have to install it again. You can just write the commands that you want to go ahead and print and execute. Let's say you want to print the hello world, then you are just going ahead and doing a print command, and then you are running. It will show you the result data set. So what I will show you now is I'll go to my PyCharm and I will show you how to execute a simple code in PyCharm. You can use any editor as per your wish. So this is my PyCharm, and I'm opening the PyCharm JetBrains, and let me show you one file that I can go ahead and create. Let me create a notebook. Okay, let me create a file, test file. This will be just a normal file. It will not be a Python file. So if you want to create a Python file, that also you can do. But before that, it's better you go ahead and create a project for your own, right? So how you can create a project? You can create a directory basically. So let me show you. I will create one file, a new project. I've clicked on new project actually. Okay, so in this new project, I can save this particular project in any location. So let me name this as Python demo. In this particular project, I will be writing all my code. So I have my interpreter here, which is my Python 3.12 version that I will be using. And if you have your Anaconda, you can also integrate your Anaconda with this PyCharm, and you can use the Python Anaconda which has been provided by Anaconda platform and use it. So what it will do is it will create a Python virtual environment in the Python root directory, and this venv environment is created. So what this virtual environment is there, I will explain it in the coming videos. But for now, just understand how you can create a project in which you can go ahead and create your files and start practicing your code. So I'll just click on create, and I'm putting it in new window. So this is my Python project that has been created. In this project, what I can do is I can create a Python file. So if you will see, if you click on this file, it will create a normal file. And if you click on this Python file, it will create a Python file. You can create multiple files. You can create a SQL file, you can create a TypeScript, JavaScript file, and so on. But right now, our intention is to create a Python file. So let me go ahead and name this Python file. So what I will do in this particular session is I will be concentrating on variables, because that is the major thing, the first thing that you need to know about any programming language. So what is a variable and how to use a variable? So let me do one thing. I will go to Google, okay, so that I can show you what is a variable in Python. I will explain it to you as well, but just to showcase what is the definition of it, I'll just going ahead and searching this. So this doesn't seem good, so here we go. So what is a Python variables? So variables are containers for storing data values. If you are already aware of any programming language, what do? When you are actually writing any code, then you are not exactly hard coding your values. You are assigning a variable in which you are storing some values. So for example, let's say I have a I have name, okay? The name can be, let's say I have a data set. In that data set, I want to store all my sales, and that sales is of Amazon sales, okay? Now, the name of the customer could be anything. Maybe I will be purchasing the product, or maybe Alex will be purchasing the same product, or it could also be that Lawrence is purchasing the same product. So the sale of a particular product in Amazon website can be purchased by any of the customer. It could be Shilpa, could be Alex, could be Lawrence, right? So when you have a lot of data set, you want to go ahead and query that data set and you want to write a code, you don't go ahead and hard code those values. What you do is you create a specific location where a memory is allocated in that particular disk. In that memory, you can store any value. You can either store Shilpa, you can store Alex, or you can store Lawrence. And that particular location where these names are stored, that particular location name is called variable. So variable is nothing but it's just a pointer to a particular location of the disk where we are storing the values of the variable. So let's read this definition one more time. Variables are containers for storing data values. So as I was mentioning, name is a variable where you are storing the data value. That data value could be anything. It could be Shilpa, could be Alex, could be Lawrence. So in this, you have to first create a variable which is a pointer to that particular location where you are storing the value, and then you are assigning the values to that particular variable. Okay, so let's go back to our PyCharm and let me show you what exactly it's there. I hope you are able to see my screen properly, or let me just enlarge it a little bit. Okay, I hope it's much more clearer right now. Okay, so now in this, before putting the name, as I've written Amazon sale, and if I execute this code, it will go ahead and throw me an error. So the first thing that you need to know, if you want to put any kind of comment in your notebook, in your Python file, how you put a comment, because comment will help you recognize what that notebook is all about and what exactly you are doing. For example, in this, name is the name of the person for that particular Amazon product. So how you can put a comment, you have to put a hashtag and then you put Amazon customer's name. Okay, and let's say if you have a multi-line comment that you want to do, then this hash will not work. What you can do is you put 3 quotation. Inside this 3 quotation, you can put the name. So Amazon sales report, where we have Amazon customers name. So now let me do one thing. I'll delete this. Now these two, the line number 1 and line number 2, both of them are comment. So this is a comment. So how you declare a comment? This is the way how you exactly declare a comment. Either using hashtag or using 3 quotation if it's a multi-line comment. So I will put here as multi-line comment. Okay. Now, so you understand how to put a comment and a multi-line comment. Now, how will you declare the variable? So I have the first name here as name. This is my variable. Okay. Let me comment these things for now. So this is my name. Okay, so in the variables, you have a lot of factors that involves how you can declare a name. So for example, I'll write one name equal to ABCD, let's say. Now, let me go ahead and first of all, let me print this Shilpa and see what does it show. So print command, you know that you want to execute that particular command and it will show you in the output terminal. So I'll do print name. So what does it show? It will show you the name of the person, that is Shilpa. So let me run. If you want to run it in PyCharm, you have this particular run variable. So you can click on this run and it will run your Python file. So you see here, this is a little small, so I hope you can see this. So the name of the person is Shilpa. So this is executed with the print command. We are good with it, right? Now, let's say I want to assign name here. So I will just go ahead and uncomment this, right? So this is uncommented. So now let me print both the print name and print one name. So let me run this. So you see there is an error here. File this line number 10. That's how you debug. It's the line number 10, right? And there is an error here. What does it say? One name equal to ABCD, syntax error, invalid decimal literal. So it means that when you are declaring this variable with your value, this is invalid syntax. So any variable that you have, you cannot start the variable with a digit. You have to start it with the name, that is the character. Or what you can also do is you can start it with this, that is underscore. So let me print this now. You will see that you should be able to run this particular command. Now you see Alex is being returned and ABCD is also returned. So this is a valid combination of declaring a variable. So what did you learn? You cannot have the number in it and you can only have the letters. Along with it, you can have underscore. Now, let me see name and last name. Okay. So this is my variable. So now let me go ahead and declare this and let's see if it actually prints. Okay, so I'm running this particular cell. What does it say? Name, last name, Shilpa Das is again invalid syntax. So if you will see here, this is a red here. So I have given name and then a space and then last name. In variables, you cannot have a space. You need to have something which is not having the space. So this is not valid. Okay. Now, let me also go ahead and declare one more thing, that is name hyphen last name. I will uncomment this and I have this name hyphen last name. So I will go ahead and try to print name hyphen last name. So you see here name hyphen last name is also invalid syntax. It cannot assign to the expression here. Maybe you meant equal to instead. So this is not a valid combination. Okay, so instead of hyphen here, what you can do is you can use an underscore. So if you put an underscore, then it's a valid way of declaring the name. So let me run this. So if you will see, the name is printed here as Shilpa Das, right? So that is a valid name. So what did you learn? You learned while creating variables, you cannot use these. Basically, one name, then name, last name, then name hyphen last name. These are not valid. Okay, the rest is valid. Now, as you have known how to declare these names, what we can do is these are my different data types. There are different data types basically. So what all different data types we have? So if you will see, there is a string data type, there is an integer data type, there is a float data type. So we have to go ahead and assign data types to a particular data. So for that, we usually put string, integer and float in different programming language. But in this case, we actually don't need. So what I mean is, if I do a print and I do a type of name, it will show me the type of the name. So I'll comment these things and I will run this particular file. So what does it say? It says Alex is my name and the class is string. So what you can also do is, if you go ahead and assign the name is equal to string, and inside that you put, let's say, Alex, okay, then in that case it is treated as a string. So if I print this, you see the type is name. Now if I have let's say the price of the product that is being purchased is 200, right? And I'm printing the price. Let me delete these. Now I want to print the price. Okay, so what is my price? It is 200, right? Now if I want to see what is my data type of the price, what I will do is I will do print type and then price. So it will print my type of the price. So what is it? It's integer. So I have not declared that it is an integer, though it has given me that the data type here is integer. Now if I want to go ahead and float price, I'll just mention it in this so that I can show you 200.50. okay, and I will be declaring that print float price. Okay, so let me execute this particular command. You see 200.5 is written here. Now 200.5 is my float price. Now let's see what is the data type of my float price. So the data type of my float price is float, right? So you don't have to explicitly mention what is the data type of it. It actually automatically detects what is the data type of your value that you are providing, and that's why it actually gives you that particular data type. If you want, you can also put the data type here and declare it explicitly, but that's not required in case of Python, right? So now let's say you have this particular price, which is an integer, and you have this float price, which is a float. Now, do you think if I want to add the price with the float price, will it work? So let's say I have my final price is equal to price plus float price. When you have to add something, you are putting the plus symbol, right? So I'm adding final price is price plus float price. So let me go ahead and do this print of this final price. So if I do a print of this final price, and then let me go ahead and do a print of the type of the final price. Let me not execute this first. Let me execute this and show you if it comes the result. So now you see the final price is what? It is 400.5. So let me do one thing. If you want to print any string, what you can do is you can put it inside the quotation. It could be a single quote or it could be a double quote. So I'll write it here, final price is this. Okay, and I will execute it so that it gives you, see here the final price is what? 400.5, right? So let me go ahead and execute this, which is print type final price, and let's see what is my final price type. So if you see, the price was integer, float price was float, and the final price is float. So what does it mean? It means I can add an integer with a float and it will be converted into a float data type and it will give you the result, right? So the data type can be changed if it is compatible. Means if you can add two data types, it will be converted to a higher data type and it will give you the result. It will not give you an error. So now let's say I have my name. Okay. So let's say I want to go ahead and I want to make it a price name. Okay. In which I want my name and I want to add, let's say Alex is purchasing the price of the product, which is 200. So I'll put name plus price. Will this work? Think about it for a second. Will this work? This is, let's say I will put print name price so that you know whether this will work or not. There's a spelling mistake. Print name price. Okay. Now I'll do print name price name. Sorry, it is price name, not name price, right? So price name. So let me execute this. See, it says price name is name plus price, but type error. What does type error means? It can only concatenate string to string, not int. It means if you have a string data type and if you have an integer data type, you cannot add an integer data type with string data type, right? You can do a plus, let's say 200 plus 200, you can do 400. But you cannot do Shilpa plus 200, which is Shilpa 200. That's not possible. So how will you fix it? Let's say I want Alex and then 200. For that, what I can do is I can convert this particular integer to a string data type. Okay, so let me convert this into a string data type. Now I will go ahead and execute this. So what you see here is, this is my name price, right? This is my name price, and what I got the result is Alex 200. So let me do one thing. I will also put some space in it so that you understand here. So let me remove all this for now to execute it in a proper way. Now you see my name price is what? Alex 200, right? And this is my class that I have. So if I print the data type of this particular price name, what will I get? It will be a string because I have converted the price, which was an integer, to a string. So let me print data type of this is price name. I'll also tell you what I have done here in the print statement. It would have looked a little different. So the data type of the price name is what? Alex 200, right? Now that I have printed just the price name. I have not printed the type. So let me put a type of this and let me execute this. So what is it? The type is string. So if you have seen, this is something different, right? What you can do is when you want to hard code something, you put it inside the code. Let's say I want to hard code so that I know what I am writing. That is, data type of the price name is, this is my hard coded value. And price name is what? It's a variable that I'm declaring. So I can put the variable. I have to just put a comma in it and I can do this, right? So this is how you can declare a variable. You can concatenate two variables, right? And then you can put a variable. So what we learned here is we have created the variable, we have the data type, and how many types of data type we have seen so far. And also we have concatenated two different data types. So this is a fix that we made, right? And we can concatenate the same data type as well. Okay, so we have seen these two functionalities. So the next thing that we are going to see here is how we can declare multiple variables in one go. What I mean is, we have declared so far the price and the name. So I have declared name Alex, then name, last name Shilpa Das, and then price, then float price, and then final price. If I have to declare name and the price and the float price in one line, how am I going to do that? Okay, it's very simple. So let me go ahead and write. I have my name, right, which is Shilpa. Now I have my, let's say, last name, which is Das, and the purchase of the product price is 200. Okay, now, okay, so now let me go ahead and print the same thing. Print the name, print last name, and print the price. Let me go ahead and comment these print statements so that you don't get confused. Here we go. Okay, so my name is what? Shilpa. Then my last name is Das, and my price is 200. Let me execute. Do you think it is going to execute, or is it going to give you an error message? So let's go ahead and execute this to see. So you see, it did not give me any error. It is showing me that I have my name, I have my last name, I have my price. Name is Shilpa, last name is Das, and price is 200. So now, let's say I want all of them in one line. How can I do that? Will this work? Think about it. Print first name, last name, and the price. I'll just comment this, and I'm going to execute this. So you see, it is there in one line, the name, last name, and price. Okay, in this way you can actually go ahead and put everything in one line, or you want to concatenate it. What you can do is, you can put this inside this, and instead of comma you can just put a plus symbol here. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, there are two brackets. What did I see? Okay, so now the price is, again, what did we saw is an integer, right? So we cannot concatenate a string with an integer as we saw. So what I can do is, I can convert this integer to a string, and then I can go ahead and run. So you see, the first name, last name, and the price is written here. So this is how you can print and you can declare the variable in one go. Okay, and I will cover the list concept later. So you have understood how to create a variable, what are the constraints to create a variable, what are the limitations, and what are the data types that you can declare it in a variable, as well as how you can print a statement, and how you can check the data type. So what you have seen, how you can check data type, and how you can print the variables, right? And how you can concatenate the same data type, and how you can concatenate different data type and declare the multiple variables in one go. If you know the concepts of variables till this, it's well and sufficient. You can work with Python with the variables. So I hope you have understood this video, in which we have covered the variable concept, which is a very important concept, and it's the foundation. If you don't know about variables, it becomes difficult to go to the step further. So if you want, go ahead, watch the video one more time and put it in your head. what are variables and how you can declare the variables, how you can concatenate the variables, how you can check the data types of the variables. So I'll come up with the next video in which I will be covering the next topic. If you have liked this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. And I have also a WhatsApp group in which I go ahead and post the daily Python concepts, data engineering concepts. If you want to join that group, which is free, you can surely join it. I will put it in the description. Till the next video, stay tuned, practice well, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.